the day of the attack was February 20th, right?
Yeah.
So if you can start with that, paint like how the day was going, how it unfolded, and how all this went down.
Yeah. So Cassandra don't really like to do it. I'm the one that's kind of been doing it.
Yeah.
So in February in Oklahoma, it's really cold. We've had a little bit of a warmer winter, but we had just had a cold spell, and it was Sunday. It was like, bro, it's like
in the movies.
Yeah, it's literally,
just like you would see.
It's literally like every parent's worst nightmare, like a straight movie scene. It was a warm Sunday afternoon.
You hear your kids laughing outside.
It was just like really rare for it to be that warm in February. So the kids were like, "Can we play outside?" So we let them play in the front yard.
Just like any
just like any other kid.
Just like all the other kids. There was other kids playing outside too on their own yards.
When JJ was attacked, he was enjoying a warm Sunday, playing with his giant teddy bear and his sisters in his front yard, picking flowers. Like we had this fake flower bed, trying to make the house look nice, type of thing,
already.
And so, and especially like in the news clips that you see, you'll see the teddy bear.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, laying there.
Where he was.
That's where he was at, as opposed to some of the other things that are being said.
Yeah.
And I, it kind of blows my mind, like how that's overlooked.
Right.
Like you see his toys right there.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It's just, so there were, Sophia, Chloe, JJ, Delilah, and Elise were playing outside. Elise had come in. Delilah, you guys have probably seen her for some of the videos. That's the little singer, the one that's always singing, kind of being goofy.
Yeah.
She's also really demanding. So she wanted some chips.
Yeah.
And my oldest was taking her to get some chips and some water, and then Chloe and JJ were following, and that's when the dogs were let out. The kids saw the dogs and took off running, and JJ was the smallest.
He was just there.
So they grabbed JJ,
baby.
and then while all this was happening, she was just there. She was just in the doorway watching them.
I put the chips and the water on the table, and I was breastfeeding Olivia too, but I put the chicken in the oven because I knew, when we take Jose to work, by the time we come back, it'll be done, and I can feed the kids. So that's what I did, and then
we have a big window in our living room.
Yeah.
So like you could see directly where they were at and everything, and I heard her go to the door because the door has like a sensor and it goes off. So I heard the ding.
Yeah.
And then I heard her telling him, "I'm gonna get your dad's slippers." So I'm coming out of the shower, and our house is real small. So I got out of the shower, and I take maybe 3 steps and I hear snarling and barking. So, we've already had issues with these dogs before. So the first thing I'm thinking is, oh shit, they're attacking my dog again. You know what I mean? So I ran to the window to go look, and the owner is yelling for help and trying to get his dogs. And when I stick my head out, I see it's not my dog. I see it's JJ, and JJ's being dragged. And she's like, from right there, that moment, I kind of don't really remember much. That whole little space right there is blank to me. Yeah. I just remember hitting the dog and fighting the dogs, and then I remember the fight very vividly. Yeah. But it's kind of like I just got there. You know what I mean? I was at the window, and next thing I know, I'm fighting these dogs.
And I also feel like it's important to clarify and to make the people know that it was not just one dog.
Yeah,
it was 5.
It was 5
those full-grown,
pit bulls,
scary-looking pit bulls.
When I was fighting the dogs, so I had posted a picture of a white pit bull. That's the pack leader,
the main one.
Yeah, that was the main one, the one that wouldn't stop. He's the first one I kicked, and I Adam Vinatieri'd him, man. I gave him a field goal kick as hard as I could, and I was barefoot. So when we got to the hospital later, I just threw on some shoes, so I'm barefoot in my shoes or whatever, and I get to the hospital. And when I get to the hospital, I take my shoes off because I'm getting some socks, and my feet are covered in blood. Wow. But it most definitely was not one dog. I hit that one dog, and then I finally saw a gap. And when I laid on JJ, the first thing I was able to get was his legs. So I put his legs underneath me, and I'm covering them. And then I grabbed one arm, and I got the other arm, and then I had both arms at one point, and they kept going for his face and his head. So I kind of let go of the one arm because all I had left to defend him with or try to protect him with was my face. So I started kind of doing one of these, like headbutting it and trying to put my face between the dog's mouth and my son's face. And when I did that, I lost one of his arms. The other dog grabbed it, and I put my hand in his mouth to release it. But the whole time I was on top of him, it was like whack-a-mole, bro. Like I hit one from this side, another one comes from this side. So for there to even be a notion that there was one dog, it's insane to me. And then not only that, I mean, look at my son.
Yeah.
You know, that's not one dog.
That was literally like 30 seconds because when he opened the window and he screamed so loud. He said, "No."
Yeah.
And then he ran and I didn't even know. I was like, "What?" I'm like, "What?" And a part of me knew, but in my head, I was like, what baby did they take? That's what I said in my head. And I just put Livy on the bed and I didn't even make to the window because the wind just blew the curtain and I just seen Jay's skull. And I need to say it because I need people to know. I saw a dog, the white dog pulling, I seen JJ like this. And the dog was pulling his face like that. And one dog had his arm and the other dog was like trying to get his leg or something. I just remember seeing those two right there. And they were like yanking his face.
Yeah.
And I don't even, like in those movies when the person like falls and they're trying to get up, but that was me in my hallway. I'm screaming. I'm trying to grab onto the walls and I'm screaming. And I finally made it out. And that's when I see my girls running in. They took JJ. And I said, "Call the cops." I was like, remember yelling at my daughter, I'm like, "Call the cops now." And in me, I was like, I need to go fight these dogs. Like, I need to go help Jose. I ran after Jose. He was already picking up, like coming to me. So that's how fast that was. So for all that damage on JJ, it was literally seconds. That couldn't just be one dog.
Yeah.
It's different bite marks in different spots. Like that, it was, and I seen them for myself. The girls said they took JJ. So it's like you said, whack-a-mole. And every time those dogs chased kids down the block, attacked our dogs, I had to fight off those dogs before off my dog, along with his owners. And I described it as whack-a-mole too to the police officer.
Yeah, that really got
But when Jose.
Oh, so there was
when Jose grabbed JJ and I was running over there to him, that's when we seen how JJ looked.
Yeah.
That's when everything hit us, and that's when like a part of me was not accepting like I was okay with it, but like telling myself, you need to be strong. You need to just be there. Because you need to tell your kids that they lost their brother, pretty much. Like, you lost your baby. Your baby's gone. Yeah. And that, I was just telling myself that. Like, in a weird, like, it was, like, fast and, like, blurry and black and crazy.
When I was fighting the dogs, I was yelling. I was yelling from my gun.
Yeah,
I was telling her, get my gun, you know, and I was
in the house running over there.
I was gonna.
Yeah, rightfully so.
You know, I was gonna do what I needed to do to protect my kid. And once I turned JJ around and I saw what they did to him, none of that mattered. A lot of people always say like, "Oh, I would have killed those dogs, this and that." So I would have said that before too,
right?
But when it happens
in that moment,
and I had two choices at that point. I had either the choice to kill these dogs or to make sure my son lived.
Yeah.
And I chose to make sure my son lived.
Once we saw JJ's face, we were all about JJ.